Inside this box is the new 2024 Lenovo Chromebook Duet 11-inch, powered by the MediaTek Kompanio 838 processor. After talking about this in my video from the recent Chromebook Showcase event, it's great to be able to have it here on the channel to unbox. It's the latest detachable Chromebook from Lenovo, so it offers the benefits of a standalone tablet with a 10.9-inch display, along with ChromeOS's productivity capabilities when you add the included detachable keyboard. This particular model also benefits from the optional USI Pen. I ordered this from Very in the UK despite the title in their listing still being incorrect, and at the time of publishing this video it seems to be the only place in the UK with availability. You may have seen my posts on X and Threads about this, showing how it's possible to pay just £332, that's about $432 by using a 10% discount code that's still valid as I publish this video. Let's get into the unboxing and take a look. So getting straight into the box, obviously this is going to come in a few parts. I think we've got the main Chromebook and perhaps the case inside here. We'll just put that to one side for a second. So it looks like we've then got things labelled up nicely with the power brick on the left, the cord to attach on the bottom, and I've got the optional USI Pen here on the right. So let's dive in and get the power brick out. So with this particular model, I've got the 45-watt option of the USB-C charger. There is a 30-watt option as well, and inside all Duets there's a 29-watt-hour battery. Next up, let's get into the cord to go with that power supply. So yeah, I've just got the UK plug here, of course. And then over on the right here, we should find the pen. So let's just see. Tucked away a little bit more. So all Duets are compatible with the USI Pen. This is the optional one that comes with several of the models, but of course do check the listing of exactly what you're looking to buy, because you may find it's not coming with a pen, and depending on how important that is to you, you'll want to check that out. My understanding is you're not going to be able to charge this in the Duet. Instead, if I unscrew this end, we should see that there's batteries inside. So yeah, just got the end of that case. And yeah, it's just a AAA battery inside there. It actually looks like it perhaps had a protective cover to the end. So just to bring that alive, I'll take that off, pop that back in, and you just screw the end back in. And then all that's left over at this stage is, of course, the mandatory paperwork. So now we can get into the Duet itself and see the cover and the keyboard that it comes with. So I'll just slide it out of this protective sleeve. Okay, so we've got the kind of rubberized textured back, feels really nice. We've got the 8-megapixel camera on the back there, and we're going to find the webcam inside, I think is 5 megapixels, so we'll take a look at that in just a second too. We've also got the pen holder here on the back, and there's a little diagram showing the way round that it should go. There we go, that's magnetic, of course, just locking in there, and as I say, it's not going to charge it there, but it is going to hold it nice and strong, and then when you need to, hopefully not for a long while, you can just replace that battery inside there. So initial impressions, just holding it here, weight-wise, it feels really good for an 11-inch device. Just the tablet on its own is about 510 grams, that's about 1.12 pounds. Easily one of the lightest weight Chromebook options out there. I'm going to weigh all the parts in, plus the optional pen I have here, and pop up on screen now what that came out at for me. So looking around the sides, it's stated as just 7.6 millimeters thin. I guess that's probably without the case. You can obviously see the case surrounding the Chromebook chassis itself in here. And on this top long edge, you've got the first of 2 USB-C 3.2 Gen 1 ports. You've got a physical kill switch for the webcam there. So that's the camera we haven't seen inside just yet, of course. You've got microphones left and right of that. And then you've got a physical volume buttons clicking nicely there. So yeah, that's the top long edge. On the bottom long edge, I guess I'm not going to be able to show you until I get it out of the case, so we'll take a look in just a minute. If I move around to what would be the left-hand side, as you have it open in the kind of Chromebook format, you've got the second USB-C 3.2 Gen 1 port. So it's great, they've got these on the long and short side, so no matter if you're using this in landscape or portrait orientation, you can easily get connected to it. So I really like that they've included them on the different edges there. You've then got a power LED indicator, you've got a audio jack there, headset, microphone combo, and then you've got a speaker on this side. Of course, you've got a speaker on the other side that I'll show you, and you've got the power button here as well. So then on the right hand side, as I mentioned, you've just got that second speaker just showing up there, so pretty clean. And I should also mention for connectivity standards, it's Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3. So let's open it up for the first time and I'll show you how the support stand works. It looks kind of crazy at the angle you see it at here, but this is so it can work in both landscape and portrait orientation. So if I just bend it back so much, lean it back and flip the keyboard deck out, and you see, yeah, it's supporting it absolutely level as you'd expect. And then there's just a bit of paperwork, the Lenovo Premium Care blurb, and of course a protector for the screen inside here. So let's see how that keyboard detaches and take a look at it. So it should just be a case of being able to pull it off, and it's just these magnets connecting it in and out. So you can see the magnets and the two support stands at the top of the keyboard there. And then if I bring the Chromebook portion back in, the tablet side, you can hopefully see it's got the corresponding holes and magnets that it just catches into. So you only have to get that close and it will just lock in. So just lift it and it's locked straight in there. And again, just pull it apart simply to detach it. So I'll just show you the Folio keyboard. So extremely lightweight as I pick that up. Feels really well constructed. Keys have got a pretty shallow to medium travel to them, as you'd expect. It's not going to be the best keyboard in the world, but it's already feeling like they'll have done a really good job at this. And the trackpad too, really small as you'd expect, but not loose, feels well seated in there. Nice click mechanism, and I'm sure it's going to be nice to use for taps and gestures as well. So yeah, that looks really smart to me. And on the bottom, as you've seen earlier, it's just this kind of rubberized texture. It feels like it's going to be decent to grip. Hopefully it's not going to mark, it's going to clean fairly easily. So yeah, feels like a nice bit of kit. And just having this keyboard available to attach to the Chromebook is just such a game changer to switch between what is just a tablet and then having something you can actually be productive on. So that's the keyboard off, and then coming back to the Folio stand on the back of the Chromebook, I've already shown you how that works, but just for how it attaches, again, it's just magnetic, so I can even pop that off just by pulling it still with the pen attached. Show you the other side of it as well. It's just the same texture, I believe, maybe very slightly different on the inside, but yeah, that just pops off. And then again, I can take the magnetic pen back off of there, and then you've got the aluminium chassis for the Chromebook, the tablet. Feels really smart, well put together. You've got a slightly embossed Lenovo logo there. You've got the Chromebook branding up here, the pen icon, that 8-megapixel camera that we've talked about, and you've got the Max Audio branding, and of course the MediaTek Kompanio sticker, the 800 series, with that Kompanio 838 processor inside. I've also got 8 gig of DDR4 RAM inside this one. I would definitely look out for that as the option to go for. There are 4 gig options as well, but I think you'll really benefit from going for the 8 gig. Look out for that optional pen. Also for the storage, this one has 128 gig of storage. There are options with just 64 gig, so I'd definitely look out for that. So in summary, the key factors to look out for when looking to buy this Duet 11, look for the RAM, preferably the 8 gig option. Look for the storage, preferably the 128 gig option, and if the pen is important to you, look to see if it's included in the particular model line that you're looking at. I'll link you to a video that can help you identify the exact spec of any Lenovo model you're looking at. That might come in handy. I'll pop that in the video description and in the top right now. Just to show you how easily you can click it all back together, so I just put the cover on here and it snaps onto the magnet. I just put the keyboard nearby, and again, it's going to click in with the magnets, and I can close it there. Flip it back over, not forgetting the pen, making sure I've got it the right way. And again, it just clicks on with the magnet. So really nice to put this Duet 11 back together quickly. Okay, powering up the Chromebook for the first time so I can show you the screen on this Duet 11 and we can have a bit of a look around. I'm not getting anything off of using the power button on the side. That's quite normal though, you often need to attach power for the first time power on for a Chromebook. I'm going to cheat and use my Charmaster 100 watt power bank. So this is more than enough to power and charge Chromebooks, as you may have seen in some of my other videos. And of course you can use it with laptops that are compatible and phones and other things that take USB-C power. So I'm just going to connect this into the USB-C port on the side on the left here. Pop that in, charge light has come on now. Try the power button again and hopefully it's going to wake up. I can get set up with my test user, show you guys the screen and have a bit of a poke around. So I'll show you in just a second once I've got the user set up. If you want to see a video on setting up ChromeOS for the first time, I'll link to that up in the top right now. Okay, so during the setup, one thing might be useful to see is just this update on how to use the gestures when you're navigating in tablet mode. So you can see you've got the go home icon, the switch to another open app with the running apps icon, and go back with the back arrow. So if we say get started, it's just going to give you a bit of a demo here as to the gesture. So you can see just that swipe up there. And then if we click next, here's the switching to another open app, so you can see how that's going to work with the demo just showing you there. And then finally we should see that third example of going back. So yeah, just useful to see. Obviously using ChromeOS in tablet mode isn't the same as using Android. Some similarities but different in other ways, and it's just useful to see this kind of guide to give a bit of an impression. So set up with my test user now and you can see the 10.95 inch Full HD plus 2K display. First of all, you're going to notice it's not running at the highest resolution, so we'll come down into settings, just tap in display, and we'll see for the display size that, yeah, it's running at the moment at 1200 by 750, but you can bump it all the way up to the highest resolution of 1920 by 1200. So let's just leave it running there, and you'll just appreciate how much you can fit onto that nice bright screen at this point. So that's 400 nits of brightness, by the way. It does look nice and bright. It'll be good to see how it fares in my testing, maybe trying it out outside as well, seeing how it is in a heavily sort of lit or bright area. But yeah, that's looking much better there. It's also a 16 by 10 ratio, and color-wise it's covering 72% of the NTSC range. It's of course touch, and it supports the USI stylus as well, as I've shown you that's included. So let's see if I can pop that off the back without dropping it. There we go. And yeah, you can see straight away it's popping up with the stylus options for the tools there. If I just turn on the laser pointer, and you can see it kind of trailing, following it around there on the screen. So I'll give the stylus a good test out and I'll show that to you in the full review, so do give a subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and you want to see that. The bezels here are looking fairly slim. Let me just pop the pen back on, if I can do that blindly with the magnet, and tell you guys about that. Yeah, there we go, click. So yeah, they're fairly uniform. They're not the thinnest, as you can see, but not too offensive in any way. And if you're going to be holding that tablet, having a bit of a room around there to hold on to it is not a bad idea. They say, or Lenovo say, that there's, I think, 99 point something % palm rejection accuracy on this tablet as well. So that's going to be really impressive to see as I use it in tablet mode. You can also see that manual privacy slider a little bit better up here now for the webcam as well. So yeah, I can just slide that across and back. Other things to tell you about the display, it's also coated in Gorilla Glass 3, and yeah, just generally looks like a really decent display, but we'll see as I get to test it out a bit more. Something else for us to check here is how long ChromeOS updates are going to last for, so click down by the clock, click the settings cog, about ChromeOS over on the left here, and then additional details at the bottom. And if I just zoom in there, so yeah, updates are going to last through to June 2034 on this one. So that's what we've come to expect now with new ChromeOS devices, 10 years of updates. So that's really decent. And also, if you just think about if you're looking at a tablet with Android, would it get 10 years of updates? Probably not, but worth comparing and keeping that in mind. And also, of course, that this isn't Android in tablet mode, it is ChromeOS. And you're probably going to have advantages in Android over this device, but then you've got ChromeOS here. So it's really just comparing what's going to be right for you. So just to show you the behavior switching into tablet mode, so if I want to simply detach the keyboard, I can flip the stand down on the back so I can have the device flat. And yeah, I've got all my apps here. If I want to go back into the Chrome browser, there I am, and I'm just back in the browser looking at the videos again. Quickly flipping it into portrait mode. Of course, the tablet just rotates there and you can flick the stand out on the back as I've shown you before and have it up in portrait mode. So just give you an impression of how that looks. So yeah, pretty smart, nice to have the option. Brilliant that the stand works like that and just really quick and intuitive to switch that around. I think what I do now is get a game like Real Racing 3 installed and show you how that works. Okay, so a bit of Real Racing 3 here, and because you've got the accelerometer and the gyroscope sensor inside the Duet 11, you can use it just like you'd expect to on your phone or your tablet with the motion controls. So yeah, working really nicely here and just giving you that extra dimension of playability that you may not have in your regular Chromebook. Some more expensive Chromebooks will have those sensors, but it's certainly not a guarantee. But obviously you're getting it here in the Duet 11. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do check out this next video on screen that the YouTube algorithm thinks you're going to like. And yeah, don't forget to like for the video if it's been useful. Cheers, guys.